So I think it's like what you just said. It's essentially and that's also just one thing I learned in this year is like your true pursuit, like we talked about that, like that you like the love for the game and being like the only way you continue to grow and you continue to be that person, even like if you feel like you've accomplished a couple of things, right? Like the only way I believe, and like I said again, this is just something I learned from someone, and it's basically the fact that like once you remove yourself from the trenches, once you remove yourself from the battlefield, then you start to get bored.
Yeah, literally. And then you want to go back in the battlefield. You want to go back in the like that's how I feel. I'm like, yo, now they're overcoming. I'm like, what's next? Like that's why I get goggles. Like I understand. Like now I'm starting to like really like truly like truly understand what this motherfucker speaks about. Where like, bro, you need to go to the dark side. You need to love it. You need to embrace it, bro. Because the thing is, bro, in that moment, but so many people crap.
Like
bro.
It's the duality of it. It's about understanding the duality of
and
man.
to also understand that when you're in the trenches, you can overcome. A lot of people in the trenches, they don't think they can. That's why they're afraid of the trenches, because they know if they get to that dark side, they're gonna fail. When I get to that dark side, bro, I go to a whole nother level. Like when I mean, like I go to a whole nother level. Like I don't want to brag or anything, but like, bro, I go to the dark side. Like people,
but
like,
this is what I'm trying to say. Like the duality, it explains that like there is light and there is darkness. There's good, there's bad. So once if you're just leaning towards the good side all the time, you won't be able to experience what it is like to cause so here's the thing, if you're too one-sided, you'll have, let's call it an imbalance in how you believe like what the right thing is. So for an example, if you know what your dark side is like, if you know what it is like when you reach there and it shows its head or the dragon or the demon comes up, you know how to face it, right? And without you knowing how to face it, you won't be able to face it, because if that situation comes to you, you'll bitch, like you'll bitch or you'll give into it.
And the thing is, it's difficult because when you're always on the good side, then you do go on the bad side. It takes a couple of you going to the bad side to embrace the bad side. And the thing is, it's different for everyone. Like people that get to the bad side, like, nah, I don't like this, I'm never coming back here. Then they stay good for the rest of their life. Like that's for me, that's my biggest fear, is that I go to the dark side and I feel like it's too dark and I just stay good again. Like for me, that what keeps me going, is that I'll know that I will never get to a stage where I go to the dark side and I'm like, I'm done. Like this is too much. Like this is too unbearable for me. I'm just gonna stay good and never go back to the dark side ever again. Because like, bro, like it's crazy, because like you can speak about it, you can do it, but in that moment, in that dark side, it feels like, bro, like, what the fuck am I doing this for? Like, is this even worth it? Like, bro, I could just be chilling at home. Like, wow, why do I have to do that? Exactly. Like I could literally just be watching Netflix. Why? Like, bro, when I was running about 25k, bro, like I think I was like on kilometer 15, but I started feeling like cramps in my leg, and I'm like, bro, like I'm like, first of all, quitting is not an option. Second of all, walking is not an option, because if I walk, I'm gonna get cramps. If I walk, I just can't do it. Like for me, it's impossible for me to go on a run and go for a walk. Like I had to keep moving. Like in those moments, bro. Like in that dark side, like I feel like I embrace it, bro. I'm like, bro, I know I'm gonna get past this. I'm like, bro, like I just have another like 2 hours, 1 hour to go. Like, bro, what's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna die? No, I'm gonna just keep going, bro. Even if I go so spaceful, I'm gonna keep going, bro. I'm gonna keep going, because like when you constantly bring yourself to that dark side, bro, it's insane, bro. Like it's for me, I can honestly say the one thing that changed my whole life was starting 75 hard. Like, because when I started 75 hard on the 1st of April, that's when I actually started like properly, like gymming properly, and like doing like working out twice a day, and like drinking all this water, and like doing all of this thing, and like, bro, like, it's taking me to the dark side. Like
you understood the give and take scenario.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also the intent. Like I didn't want to just go through 75 hard, like I just did it. Like I need to do every workout with intent. Like, but some nights it's like 9 hoppers, 9. You still need to do another workout. You still need to drink water. You still need to read 10 pages. And it's like, bro, I can't go to bed until I do this thing. And for me, I can't just quit. Like I can't just go to bed and be like, dude, fuck it, I'm just gonna quit. Like it's just not in me. So I have to just, in those moments, bro, I feel like that's what's made me this year. Is like, bro, it's hoppers 9. it's cold as fuck outside. I've done my indoor workout. I need to do an outdoor workout. Now I need to step outside in the dark, in the cold, and just embrace it, bro, and just do it. And every single time when I come back after that workout, I feel better than before. Every time, like in the moments, maybe you might like, bro.
Then you see
like,
the thing is, I think the only thing that many people don't really understand is that it's not that you're going to do 75 hard and then your life is going to change. Essentially, it's what happens after
exactly
that,
after the darkness, bro.
Yeah,
because in the darkness you feel like I'm just doing safe. But like, dude, people don't even understand. Like, people are like, oh, dude, what was your diet? What did you work out? Like, people don't understand. Like, you know how many walks I went on for 75 hours? Like, it's not even about the actual fitness. Like, that's not even about. It's not even that's what it's about. But it's about that, bro. It's fucking 9:30, bro. I'm tired as fuck, bro. I just want to sleep. But I know because I have this checklist on, I need to go do the second workout. Like, I need to do it. Like, okay, dude, maybe I'm not going to do something intense. I'm just going to go for a walk. I'm just going to walk outside for 45 minutes with just me and my thoughts and just going to just think about what's happened, see all the shit through. And maybe it's in a moment where, bro, like, everything is going bad and this. And, like, bro, the only thing that you have in that moment right now is to improve yourself. Is you know that, dude, everything is dark, everything is hard. But just for me going for this walk and you go outside, bro, like, it's the best thing ever when, like, you have all these thoughts, you walk outside, it's like 9:30.
Yeah,
you see no one on the road. You see, like it's raining, or and you see like these people like running in the rain, like to like not get wet, and you just like embracing it. Like for me, bro, in that moment, I just feel like
it's another form of meditation.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, it's not that bad, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm alright. Like, yeah, shit might be going south, like shit might be going bad. Like, even in the morning, just having all these losing streaks. People are messaging me, this and that, because like obviously I have a signal service, so like, you know, people message you, get this pressure in your head.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah, like what's going on, bro? Like, he's a couple of losses now, like, and like you get all this pressure in your head, and like in those moments you walking, or like you wake up early in the morning, you do that workout, and I'm like, bro, no one's like me, bro. I'm like, I'm out here, I'm doing this, like, people don't even know. Like, people think everything's rosy. People think that everything's going well. Like, people don't even know. Like, I could just quit right now. Like, why am I still doing this? Like, you ask, like, why am I still here? Like, because I'm like, I'm not like everybody else. Like, this is what I live for. Like, I'm here to embrace this. Like, in the moments, like, and like, bro, it's what it teaches you in those moments, because those pep talks you have with yourself, bro, you're still alive. Like, what's the worst that could happen, bro? Fuck, okay? You lost a couple trades. Like, what else, bro? Like, shit, dude. You're still breathing. Like, be grateful. Like, dude, I'm like, dude, I have fucking running shoes, bro. I'm like, dude, some people don't even have fucking shoes. Then you start, like, appreciating life. You start seeing things differently. You start, bro, it's insane. And that's the only time you feel like that, or you go to that place, is in the dark side, bro. And the dark side is so important to embrace the good side. For so many people, just always on the good side, always doing what, you know, just the basic shit, just getting by, and they don't want to purposely put themselves in that dark side, in those trenches.
I think the big thing is with this whole mindset is that because we're from a third world country, most people believe that you can't achieve things that
100%.
that first world country people achieve, and really it's about like that belief that is created, and then you conform to it, and I don't know, man, you just think that it's some type of a special something in someone, and that they have that ability and you don't.
You don't. It's just the biggest bullshit ever, bro. It's literally the biggest bullshit ever. And it's like such a big block that's in your head that you have to get over, and it takes a lot of bashing, bro, because this block is thick, man. Like, this block, like, you need to come with the bulldozer, like, you need to bring the spades, like, bro, this block needs to be bashed down, bro, because it's a huge motherfucker. And it's literally what is stopping people from becoming great. It's the own self, like, lies they tell themselves, like, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or just the small language, like, people be like, oh, bro, I'm having such a shit day, and this and this. I'm like, bro, listen to how you speak to yourself. Like, you don't even realize
that
like,
self-talk.
That self-talk is
like, I understood one thing, and actually needed to make a comment, though I'll get to that now, but I understood one thing, that I thought I didn't have negative self-talk, but I made this point yesterday, speaking to Red, but the point being is, like, I thought I didn't have, because essentially it was like taking a loss where it's like yo, bro, what are you doing? Like, the fuck you doing, bro? I'm like, you shouldn't be doing this, bro. Like, it's like
all these small little, like you just hear like that little voice, but I'm saying it's like this little devil sitting on your shoulder and just like whispering to you, like, and it's always the little devil always has the same voice as you, so you recognize the voice and like you just hear it, bro. Like just that little, like, bro, stop, you're gonna quit, bro. Like, bro, you're gonna fail. Like, you know you can't do this, and like this and this and this and this and then the thing is, that voice that keeps talking to you makes you do actions to make you do things that to justify that voice. Like, so if that self-sabotaging voice is in there speaking to you, you start doing things that self-sabotage yourself. Like, oh, bro, like you can't do this, and then subconsciously you do things that self-sabotage yourself, knowing they're self-sabotaging yourself. And like the only way you improve that is by going to the fucking dark side. That's the only way, because, bro, like especially when you embrace or when you get past the dark side, bro, you get to the good side. It's a whole nother devil as well now, because it's no longer you in the trenches now. Now you're in the light. In the lights, it's so easy for you to become complacent. It's so easy for you to slow down. It's so easy for you to think you're clear from the dark side, and it's so easy for you to now continue in a way to do everything possible to stay away from that dark side again, because you felt what it was like to be there. So now you're playing it safe now. Now you're not going as hard. Now now you no longer challenge yourself, because now you're in the good side, bro. Because now the thing is, to get into that dark side, you challenge yourself in the good side that pulls you into the dark side. So it's like it's a constant back and forth evolution that keeps on going, that keeps on going.
I really think we should call this talk the December South African government future meeting. Like we were talking about like the things that actually make a change and that actually drive. So like I guess the only thing that I can add to that is that like people are afraid to think for themselves and just take that like that ownership of being able to be like, okay, like I don't kind of believe that is.
And people also lie to themselves a lot. Like people don't want to be like, okay, listen, I'm not where I want to be, and I know I'm working towards it. Like, okay, like first, like you have to like realize, like you have to be rational with yourself. Like you can't always.
That's the thing about December now. If you say people usually lie to themselves, right? Now, in general, what I've done in the past, and I'm going to give an example of myself, and I know most people usually operate in this way, is that you work throughout the year and you're like, December comes, and now you're like, hey, it's time, I've worked so hard in this year, you know, I deserve these 30 days of doing nothing. Like, I can do whatever, like, you see, that's where I believe that time is essential for you to use that in some constructive way to either gain a skill that you need, or
join the 5%, bro. Like for me, the 30 this in December, bro, goes to the dark side, bro. And the thing is, I love the fact that I'm doing 75 hard in December, bro. I'm not gonna be having pudding. I'm not gonna be having nice food on Christmas Day. I'm not gonna be having all that shit, bro. And it's gonna be fucking lovely. It's gonna be difficult not to have it, but I'm gonna embrace it, bro. Because everyone else like, oh, why aren't you eating custard? Why aren't you eating marble pudding? I'm like, nah, bro. I have 75 hard. I can't just put 75 on the porch just because it's Christmas. Like, I need to be in that elite group of
I must address this though. I 100% agree with you. What I just changed in the past, because I used to be that guy that would come to the Christmas dinner and I'd have this little plastic thing, right? And I eat out of this plastic thing, right? So whatever the meal was. So one thing I just realized, and this was just because again, it came to me to understanding that, okay, I can actually have, like, if it's an event where it's like for example, I haven't went to see my parents in this year. Like I've seen them like when like in a different space where we had a coffee, and it wasn't a long time that I saw them and stuff. But then it's been like 12 months since I've been back to the hometown where I'm from, right? Yeah. So what I then understood from an actual perspective of being content in the moment and being present in the moment is I don't have to be that guy that's gonna bring my, like, I'm gonna explain to you why I just made this. This just came to me. I can enjoy for an example, let's say my grandma cooks. And it's Christmas. I'm gonna show my respect towards, and I'm gonna eat that food because it's just a personal thing for me. I know I'm gonna do that because shows so much respect towards her, for an example, and then she feels loved and appreciated because the young one is eating her food. You know what I mean? Like, and that also gives her a sense of like love. So I realized that, like, yeah, bro, I can. If I only allowed to do this when it's Christmas time, like when I eat that food, but I will still not be the dude that's gonna like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so I don't really eat this, so now I get like 16 like this. In Afrikaans, it's called a pampoenkoek. It's this really sweet thing. Yeah. So they put like they put like custard, like you said, over it. So you can like, that's when people usually stack their plates so full, and the next day they do nothing, bro, because they just sit back and be like, I believe you can enjoy it, but that's a reason why your plate's only this big, bro. Yeah, bro.
Like that's the thing. It's that 5%, bro. Like in everything you do, like you just think, what would 90% do? 95% people do. If you're not doing what the 95% people are doing, you're progressing. Like the fact that you can be like, I'm not gonna have the whole plate, I'm gonna have only this much. 5% wouldn't do that. What would they do? They'll eat the whole thing. 95% of people would eat the whole thing. 95% of people on Christmas Day, what do? They're chilling. Go to the other gyms, even open it to Christmas. No one's exercising. One's exercising on Christmas Day. Like that's the 5%. Like that's the dark side, bro. And that is what, like, and the thing is, bro, people always be like, when will you stop? Like, there's no stopping. Like, it's a constant, and it's just different dark sides. It's just.
But that's what will help you understand I would say the saying of like, it's not essentially about how you start, but how you finish. Because understanding that it means that there is no so-called end goal.
There's no end.
There will always be
that's
an
why
iteration.
People who always be like, want to have this financial money goal. I want to be a millionaire. Like, yeah, bro, you think you want to be a millionaire until you're a millionaire. Now what? Because now you've reached this, you think this end goal, like, oh, I'm a millionaire and retire. Like, dude, you can't just get a millionaire and retire. Like, you can't just get there and think you've made it and now just stop. Like, that's not how it works. Like, it's a constant, like, growing. And the thing is, what people understand is, the person you are now to the person you are when you have that million are completely two different people. So when you have that million, you're not going to have that mindset of, I'm going to get the million to stop. You're now in a position that you understand that it's a never-ending cycle. Like, it's an always continuous growth. It's always continuous improvement. It's all, you can never come to a point where you're like, I know it all. Or I can't get better. Like, you can always improve. You can always get better.
I never use, like, this is how I have my take on it. Throughout high school and stuff, no one taught me the value of knowledge and wisdom and what it actually means to be learning, right? Because like, you go out through high school and you just do stuff because you feel like you need to do it, right? And once I could understand the value of, for an example, reading the right material, meaning the right material. I'm not just reading sci-fi. I'm not just reading some stuff to keep me busy.
Storybook.
Like, so I then understood, okay, like this consistent collecting of knowledge and then turning that into like wisdom and then taking that in, obviously into action. Like, that is what that's the game. Like,
literally everything we're speaking about here, we've learned. It's like we didn't just wake up one day and be like, we know all this stuff. Like, it's all from different sources of information, and that's how you use knowledge. You get it, and then you apply it, and then you spread it. Because like, that's what it's all about. Because what's the point of knowing all this stuff and just keeping it to yourself? Like, you need to understand all the different principles, like the abundance. Understand that just because you know something, you share it, it's not going to give you less of it. Like, just because you have a skill and you teach someone that same skill doesn't make your skill any less. Like, that mindset of abundance. A lot of people think just because they know something, I won't tell you this because I know it. So like, it's only mine. Like, just me telling you it doesn't make it any less valuable for me. Like, that's the abundance thing. That's knowledge. A lot of people know that. Like, it's such all these small little things that add up and make that whole big painting that we're all trying to paint, bro. And the thing is, the painting, it's a never-ending painting. You think you've finished the corner, and then there's another corner you need to draw. Then you need to get different colors and different pens and different sketches and this and that, and then you need to draw that corner, and then you need to put it all together, and then you realize, like, oh shit, I made a mistake. Now you need to write, like, bro, it's a constant, like, it's insane, bro. It's the journey of life, and it's beautiful. You have to embrace it, the good and the bad. Like, that's what I was speaking to this guy. He sent me a message like, yo, bro, I failed my FTMO, this and this and this. I'm like, bro, chill, bro. Like, embrace the wins just as you embrace the losses. Like, 100%. The fact that you feel emotional about losing the account, you should be celebrating like you just got the account. But it's a very difficult thing to do because we've been programmed to think that failure is bad. It's not bad, bro. Cool. Like, it's a good thing. Like, embrace it. Like, even Manny is like, how do you deal with like losing a $10 million deal? It's like, I go home, I get a nice cigar and I light it up. It's like, I embrace the losses, bro. It's like, you have to celebrate the losses just as you celebrate the wins. It's like, when I win, what do? I go home and light a cigar. Like, that's how you celebrate, because like, dude, you have to embrace the dark side and the good side, because that dark side is what's going to literally make you turn into the good side. And I saw this great quote: how you think when you're losing determines how long it will be until you win.
That hits home, because how you think eternally in context will be how you live your life.
How you live your life. 100%.
So yeah,
it's the great strange secret of the world. People don't understand it. Negative thoughts create negative realities. Positive thoughts create positive realities. That's all the energy. And the thing is, people don't realize that all they're doing constantly is manifesting negative shit without even realizing manifesting negative shit.
Because if you like for example, if you fail in FTMO in a trader perspective, it means nothing. It only means that there was something you need to fix. You just weren't ready.
You need to improve. Maybe your plan wasn't solid enough. Yeah. Maybe there's something that needs tweaking. That means it's a good thing, because now you're improving. Because when you tweak that, you come back stronger. You come back better.
Also, here's the thing. Like, if let's say you pass that FTMO, but it was off of blind luck, meaning that
you just like home run.
For an example, you took a rather large piece of risk on a trade and it paid off. You won't keep that account for too long, because
it's a home run. It's like
you need to do that every single month going forward. Now you know what I mean.
Because the thing is now it's that thing of when you break your rules and you make a profit. It's the worst thing you could possibly do, even if you get an FCM account over leveraging, because now you're gonna think that, oh, I over leveraged last time and I made profit. I can over leverage again and make profit. Now what you do, you over leverage, you lose. You're like, damn. Yo, I just lost 3% or 2% of my account. Like, sheesh, okay, let me try to do this again. I can get it back down in one trade. Boom. Oh, damn, down 6%. Like, oh, shit. Boom. I'm down 8%. Like, shit, dude. Like, how did this happen? Like, what the fuck? Like, nah, dude, you just had the wrong process. You had the wrong plan. Because you thought that what you did wrongly just gave you the right result. It was the right thing to do when it was incorrect. But it's all these... Probably literally all comes down because people don't think. It's insane. It's literally, it's mental. But then... it's so difficult, because even if you do think, even if you do use your brain, you still get involved in doing the wrong shit, doing the shit you're not meant to do, and this and that and this and that. And that's just the process. It's just part of life. So you just got to embrace it, bro. But it's a lovely thing. Like, 100%, bro, this year I really truly learned that failure is a good thing. You must embrace it. Like, I used to be so scared of failing. Like, I used to be scared of what other people think when I fail. Like, shit, what would they say if I fail? Like, so much shit has been programmed in our minds to do things so like, what will they do? What will they think? What will they determine? Or like, so you're always doing something based on what other people's opinions are, and you don't really consider your own opinion. Like, your own opinion is the only opinion that matters first, and then other people's opinions. Because why are you living?
But look, you won't. If someone is always seeking gratification from outside sources, on anything really, it just means that he does not trust himself, and he does not have any sort of self-belief in himself, because he's always seeking for external.
So you don't truly believe that your decision-making process is progressive, or it will yield in a result. So you're always looking for someone else to justify what you think, so then you can feel better about yourself. Because you don't believe in yourself truly that my decision making right now will have a positive impact. So you're like, okay, let me ask what this guy thinks. Like something as simple as, do you like this dress or do you like this dress? What do you think I should wear tonight? This shirt or this shirt? Like, why are you asking me what shirt you should wear? Like, what does me saying, yeah, this shirt, like, why? Like, what if you like the other shirt better and I said this one? Now, what you gonna do? You're gonna wear the one I said, like, why? Like, think just wear whatever you want to wear and just embrace it because it's your decision. Don't care what other people want to say, what other people want to think.
Yourself.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
If you stop, and that's the thing, people conform, bro. Like people go to jobs from 8 to 5 and conform and do shit they hate and come back from 6 to 9 speaking about how much they hate what they do all day. Like you just conforming, bro. You decide to do that. Like my mom always comes back from work and she's, oh, I hate my boss, I hate my job, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. I'm like, you literally conforming, doing something you hate to then speak about what you're doing you hate. But then what are you doing from 6 to 9 to improve yourself? Nothing. You're not doing anything to improve this tempo you live in every single day, and then you expect external factors to change. Like you expect your boss to treat you differently, but you're not improving yourself. You expect work to all of a sudden be great and fantastic, but you're not improving yourself. You're not reading any books. You're not learning. You're not improving. You're not growing. But then you expect everything else around you to change. It will never change until you change, until your mindset changes, until your thinking process changes. Nothing will change. People always be like, oh dude, I failed another FTMO, I'm just going to buy another one next week. I'm like, dude, that's not going to change anything. Like you're not going to fail one FTMO this week and then pass it next week just because you bought another one. Like the only reason you failed that FTMO was clearly something wasn't right. You need to fix yourself to then pass the FTMO, not get another FTMO to then fix yourself. Like people always look for external things to fix internal problems. It never works. It never ever works, and it will never will work. And when you finally embrace it and you finally realize that, like, shit, dude, like, shit's not going well in my life. What do I need to do? Improve myself. That's it. What do I need to do? Maybe I need to work out twice a day instead of once. Maybe I need to read 20 pages instead of 10. Maybe I need to wake up earlier instead of late. Like, just improve yourself, and then everything changes, because how you do one thing is how you do everything.
I just think, I'm gonna say this. I just think it comes down to doing the, let's call it the boring work.
And do it very well.
Because no one likes doing that, like, right?
And the
like,
thing is, it's boring and it's easy to do, but it's so easy not to do. That's the thing. Like, it's very easy to do. Like, it's all very easy and boring stuff to do, but it's just as easy not to do it. So people don't. People.
It's like there's like journaling.
Yeah, like journaling, like reading. Like, it's reading hard. Like, is it hard to physically take a book, open it, and just first do 10 pages and just waste 20 minutes? Is that hard to do? It's a very easy thing to do, but it's so easy not to read.
I believe this though. Reading essentially is the act of, like, reading, for an example, is why some people find it hard. Is because it's not just something you pick up and then you're great at it, because it's something that you work on. You start reading a little bit faster.
It's everything else. You work on it.
Yeah, and
start reading maybe pages, because there's also different books. Some books have small writing, big writing. You have to adapt. You have to.
But it's the same thing as going to the gym, right? So
100%.
Or even running. So for an example, if you pick up a book and you start reading it, for let's say, because the first book I ever read was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I know everyone tells a story, but that's true. Like in my example, that's just true. It's where actually right here in Durban, that's where I started to, like, every night just after club training at like 8 o'clock, I would read like 2 pages, 3 pages, because I was like,
that's how it starts.
Yeah, I would read, I was just reading them, sometimes I fell asleep at the book, or sometimes that type of thing. But for me, it was that essential process that prickled that thing in my mind, because I then understood, okay, that just like working out, it's like whenever you reach that level of failure, that's where the adaptation takes place. And then with reading, if your mind's like when you read, you're not really understanding it yet, or you don't really get the concept. But that's also your mind being you're gymming your mind,
it's
right?
your mind getting challenged by new information, because it's information that it doesn't get all the time. When it gets that information, it tries to tell you, it tries to give you all the reasons to stop. Bro, it's too hard, or it's too complex to understand, or you're not really getting this, and all these little noises come into your head just so you can put the book down and stop. Everything, our mind has literally programmed us to stay into doing things that we normally are conformed to do. You're not normally opening up the book and reading it. So when you open the book and read it, your mind literally tells you all these lies to close the book and put it back down. That's how strong your mind is. Your mind literally controls what you do. Your mind will be like, bro, this book is boring, or this book is too hard, or you don't really understand the concept of this book, and this and this and this, and then you put the book down, and then you conform. You go back to what you know. You go back to what everyone tells you to do. You go back to being the same person, and then you don't grow. Because now you didn't get challenged. The reason when you're reading, you're getting challenged. It's something different. And the mind will always go back to comfort. Will always go back to what is normal. Will always go back to what it knows. Like, bro, it's so easy to just lay in bed and just switch on Netflix and watch Netflix. So easy. But it's so easy also to just get up and work out. But it's so easy not to do it. And the people always choose what is easy to do instead of doing what's easy not to do. Like, it's easy, bro. Like, going to the gym, as Bradley said, it's easy, bro. You just get in your car, go to the gym, step into the gym, lift some heavy shit, go home.
But that's the thing. I believe you've read this book where it teaches the principle of if you struggle to, and I believe it's in Atomic Habits or something, if you struggle to, or some habit book, like, I can just remember this. If you struggle to do an activity, whether it's physical or whether it's reading, like, I'm just going to take this physical example now, but I believe you can apply it to many areas, is that you...
in 2 minutes.
Well, the thing is, firstly, like, if you want to go run in the morning, you wake up, the only thing you need to do is you need to put on your shoes, and get outside, right? Because like, that's gonna help you. You get your shoes now, you're outside, and now you be like, okay, I'm already here now. So I need to go run. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like this bell movement, basically. Like when I wake up, basically, for the first thing I do is I drink water. So that kind of like puts me in that bell movement of the next thing after that, the next thing after that, because I know, okay, because I don't drink coffee in the morning, so it's just something I've tested and I've been testing, because most people use like these things as crutches, and I used to do as well. So usually I would connect it towards an activity that I was doing. So basically I needed before I go work out, I need caffeine. Before I work in the morning, I need caffeine. And that's not essentially true. It's nice to have the caffeine.
But you don't need the caffeine.
You don't need it, yeah. And that's why big ass companies that either sell you sugar or like these soft drugs and stuff. Like, okay, sugar is not really a soft drug, but like, I'm speaking in terms of caffeine. That it's like it like takes your current, like it enhances some type of something in your system, right?
Does.
And that's why they know how to make so much money off of people, because they rely on these things to make them feel a certain way, right?
Changes it distracts you. It's like, bro, it's crazy, because the human mind and the brain is so fascinating, and how it works and how it's like programmed, bro. And these people have mastered the ability to make us conform. They've mastered the ability to channel our thoughts. And when you break out from that, they've mastered the ability to make everyone else make you look or make you feel a certain way, to then come back to the conformity. And it's a very small group, that's what's the 5%, that break out and embrace the hate that comes with it, that enjoy that Goggins, bro. Like, why are you running today? Because you're not. Like, he enjoys that. I'm doing it because you can't do it. Like, that fire that it burns inside of it. Other people be like, why are you running? Yo, actually, why am I running? I'm just gonna stop.
That will challenge so many people, because I just know that the fact that if you even mention to someone that has a certain belief and that challenges it a little bit,
100%.
And like, the thing is that people will be like, bro, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, 100%. Like, they'll try to justify why you doing something to feel better about themselves. They'll be like, nah, he's lost the plot, he's crazy. Or, nah, give him a week, he'll quit. Or, I also used to do this when I was younger, and look at me now, my knees are sore and my legs are sore and this and this. So you always like, dude, the human brain, bro, it's such a fascinating thing how people literally just throw their fears on you. Like, they just literally chuck all their own fears on you, their own insecurities on you. Like, and what people don't understand, people don't see what you see here. This is the only thing that matters, what is inside here. If you see this here, bro, it's already yours. I don't care what anyone tells me. I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, you can tell that shit to someone else. Don't tell it to me, bro, because I know what I see here. And what I see here is the only thing that matters. You're just trying to block what's in here. That's the only thing you trying to do. You're trying to throw your fears on me because you couldn't do it.
Yeah, like, and I'm gonna mention this, that and this is also taught through, I believe it was Earl Nightingale, but everything is essentially created twice, right? Once in the mind and once in the physical. But like only once when you understand what that means can you truly take action on the facts. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it, and because I feel like that's interpreted wrong.
Yeah,
because many people will be like, well, bro, I've been visualizing and I've been doing these things, but nothing has been happening.
Literally, like that whole sentence right there is why nothing's happening. They literally said, I've been visualizing, I've been doing these things, but nothing is ever happening. You literally just told yourself, nothing is ever happening. Yeah. So what will happen? Nothing will ever happen. Yeah. Like, that's how powerful it is, but that's how it's like, it's hidden in our everyday normal activities, and you don't even realize you're self-sabotaging yourself. In that instant right there, the fact that you said nothing is ever happening is the reason nothing is ever happening. Yeah. Like something that small is the reason that's telling you, like, yo, I've been visualizing, bro, but nothing is happening. Like, listen to what you just said, bro. You literally just said you're visualizing, but nothing is happening. Yeah. So what? Nothing will happen. Yeah. But then now Earl Nightingale said this thing. So he says you must have this goal. So when you have this goal, and you get these negative thoughts. So like when you say, like, okay, I've been visualizing and nothing is ever happening, then when you have that negative thought, you take your goal. Like, so you write down a goal. Like, let's say you write down a goal, whatever your goal is. Write it down. You keep it on you the whole time. You put it in your pocket, you carry it with you. Yeah. Whenever you have this negative thought, and then you say nothing is ever happening, instantly you replace it with your goal. Yeah. And then what will happen? Every time you think negative thought, you replace it with your goal. Replace it with your goal. What will then manifest? From nothing ever happening will manifest to something is happening or your goal is happening, and then your goal becomes reality. Yeah. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It's such a small tweak, because then it makes you aware. Every time you say something, you become aware that, shit, what I'm saying is negative. Let me replace it with something positive. Let me replace it with something positive. Let me put like, people don't realize actually how negative they are. Yeah. They're so negative so many times a day, but every time you're negative, just go. Like, okay, my goals are RSD. Oh, this person's so fat. Oh, RS3. Oh, like, she's so annoying. RS3. Like, RS3. You do that so many times because you start realizing how many negative thoughts you actually have. You start replacing those thoughts with your goal. What happens? Your goal becomes a reality. Because now you've shifted your identity. Then it comes to a point where you no longer get these negative thoughts. Now, when you see a fat person, maybe because you're judging them, now you see RS3 every time you see a fat person, because now your negative emotion towards that thing has turned into your goal. So now you always see your goal, and then all of a sudden, boom, RS3 drives past. Boom, you see a RS3 in the car park. Like, boom, you see a RS3 doing this. Exactly, because now you've shifted your focus from. And the thing is, now when you say, like, okay, these fat people everywhere, what happens? You start seeing fat people everywhere. Because now that's what you're focusing on. But now if you change that to fat person, RS3. This and this, RSD. Now it's like, it literally shifts your focus, but it's so difficult to do that consistently. That's the hard thing. Like, yeah, you do it for a day, for 2, for 3, but if you start doing it consistently, it's insane. And the thing is, I realized this because, like, I was looking at my vision board the other day. I'm like, dude, like, what? On my vision board, so much shit has actually happened. I didn't even realize it's happened. Like, I spoke to Grant Cardone, he was on my vision board. Like, and I spoke to this guy. Like, I actually spoke to this guy. Like, he was on my vision board. Like, I would have never thought this was even highly, and possible ever. Like,
it's not just a DM.
Like, I actually, I spoke to this guy. Like all this shit happened. And I'm like, now I'm like, dude, like, whoa, like, this is insane. Like, this shit is all, like, actually happening. Like, I was like, because I have, like, this chef on my vision board, because I always, like, have this thing of eating nice food, and I'm like, looking back, I'm like, dude, the last 6-7 months of eating such nice food only cooked by chefs. Like that's not a coincidence. That's because, like, it's constantly in my thought. Like, it's there, and then, like, you get to a point you're like, how did this happen? And you don't know. Like, you're like, damn, like, I don't know, but I'm here. But, like, shit, dude, like, this shit actually works if you actually consciously, like, decide and, like, put a vision to it. It's insane. It's literally, it's crazy.
Because it's interesting. I told you the fact that I might wanted to move, right? Yeah. And then it ended up me meeting someone that's actually on a level that I also aspire to reach in a different field, business related. But then that kind of just out in the way that it happened. Like, I wasn't forcing. I wasn't, like, I would literally sat in a position at a place and I met the person, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, off of that, I was like, okay, that is something I have also been working towards manifesting, that I can meet someone that can, you know, in a relationship like this, where I can actually also learn from him, you know what I mean? And see how the internals work of that business, and that kind of shifted my my kind of like thing that I wanted to move, you know, out of the area where I stay now, and I realized, well, bro, this is how it happened. You're gonna have to stay here for at least one more year before I make that move, because this is not how it happened. Because I believe you can have this thing in your mind where where you're going, but essentially how you're gonna get there, you don't know what that's going to be. You don't know.
Like. That's the thing, and that's the thing. You don't need to worry about how you're going to get there, or you don't need to try to figure out how you're going to get there, or why it's taking so long, or why it's not happening today instead of tomorrow, or why it's only happening next year. The thing is, that's the thing. Once you have that fixed goal and you start working towards it, you then become a success. And the laws of gravity is jumping off the roof. You can only go down, you can't go up. It's the same way it happens. Once you have that goal, start working towards it. It's impossible for you not to get it. And when you truly believe that, nothing can stop you. Absolutely nothing. No matter what people say, no matter what happens in your life, no matter who you lose, no matter what happens, nothing will stop you, bro. And the thing is, the only thing that happens between now and that goal or that success that you want is the good and the bad. There's no in between. It's either going to be good, it's going to be bad. That's it. Just embrace that it's going to be good, it's going to be bad. Like, that's the only thing you need to worry about, and just know that you're going to get to that goal and you're 100% sorted.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. Before I cut you short there, like, do you need to leave at 12 or something?
Not really, but
I'm trying to.
What time are you?
Yeah, I want to leave around that time. So I would just want to check with you, because how we're talking now, it's just kind of like it's just coming. So if you want to leave earlier, it's cool. I just want to see how the time is looking, so that what I have in the back of my mind, so we can get to that as well. So is that cool with you? We go for another like 30 minutes or whatever?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so basically, like I guess like we can cut this out of the piece or remove that. So I just think like at the end of the day, like how in the growth process, right? In starting to understand product potential and understanding yourself more, it's essential then for you to understand that whether you're a good person or whether you're a bad person, stuff will happen to you.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Stuff happen to good people, stuff happen to bad people.
Happens.
You know what I mean? Life will essentially happen. But then it is your interpretation of that thing that happens to you, right?
Determines how long you stay in that suffering or that pain,
and that state, right? And it is like, I truly believe, and this is part of my journey, that like whatever it is that you want to build or achieve, you have to go and do the work to figure out who can help you with this. You know what I mean? You have to, because you're not doing everything on your own, bro. Everyone thinks that they're gonna do if they become an entrepreneur, or they're entrepreneurially wired, they think that, you know, I can do this shit myself. You know what I mean? Like, and I believe that's the biggest lie. And
you have to have a team, or a proper team around you.
Yeah.
A team that you can trust, a team that's effective, a team that delivers, a team that. And the thing is, to have that team, you have to have the ability to build people. You have to have the ability to speak to people. You have to have the ability to build relationships. Because no one's going to work for you if they hate you. No one's going to help you if they hate you. No one's going to help you if they don't like you. Like, you need to be able to have the ability and the skill to build a relationship, to make that person respect you, to you respect that person and then respect you back. So, like, to have a connection that's productive. Because in the end, and that also comes down to building skills. Like, you need to know how to speak to people. Like, and you don't just get born with the ability to speak to people. You learn it through hearing how other people speak, to reading books, and your vocab and your delivery, and this and this and
but
this and that.
Also understanding yourself.
Right? Yeah, understanding yourself, because
you're not gonna like. And also the thing is, I needed to understand this, that you can't force anything on yourself. Like, the only way you can do something that you find natural, or not really find natural, but the only way that you can really become good at something is if you actually enjoy doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and I believe this does not just like, it's not just trading, it's not just general business on like whatever. Like, if you are someone that really wants to, I don't know, man, you wanna you just want to have a small something.
That's
right?
why it's so important to have that goal that you want. Like, not because someone else places it on you, not because your dad wants you to do it or your mom. When you have that goal, whatever it is that you want, and you start working towards that goal, anything that happens leading up to that, you embrace it because you're doing something you want to do. You're doing something that you love to do. The problem now is people have goals and this end goal, this destination that they're going to, that they don't even want to go to. So now when they have the hardship, it's so easy for them to quit or to stop because they're doing something they didn't even want to do. Like, it's so easy for me if I had to go to varsity and shit gets tough for me to quit. Because I don't want to be in varsity, bro. Like, I don't want to be there. Like, I wouldn't enjoy the struggles and the hardship that comes with varsity because I don't want to be there. But now if I actually want to be there and I actually want to be a doctor, when I get that failed test or when I get that failed exam, it's easier for me to be like, dude, come on, we got this, let's keep going. Because that's actually what I want to do. Same with trading. I know that trading, I love trading. So when I get these hardships or when I get these setbacks, it's easy for me to be like, dude, come on, let's go again. Like,
we
got
because
this.
Also you can say that because what you're doing is proven. Like,
100%.
If you're not doing something that's proven, like someone taught you a system or a strategy and it's not proven, right?
Proven,
then you're living in a big illusion of you trying to think, okay, I'm yeah, I could give a good example, but I won't go there. But so like,
you're trading with the trend line, bro. Like, you can't lie to yourself and be like, okay, nah, this is the one.
I did not want to open that chat.
This is the one. But then it also comes down to realizing like because I was there, like we were all there, and then you realize like, dude, like you can grow, you can progress. You don't know what you don't know. I did not know a trend line didn't work until I knew it didn't work. And then when it doesn't work, like you can't sit there and be like, okay, I hope it's gonna work. Like, nah, you need to be like, okay, I need to find something else then obviously that works. So then you start digging deeper, you start finding other mentors, other courses. Like, dude, I went through like 5-6 courses before I even found RCT, something that actually worked for me. Maybe a trend line works for you. We're all different. Hey, bro, do you, bro? If your trend line works, it works.
It's weird though because what I experienced, even when I found something that was proven, right? Or someone that can teach you something that's proven, and that's in business or in trading, and I just believe that like I still had the curiosity to see why people were buying into like the let's call it Instagram famous people, right? Why people were buying into their shit. I still had the curiosity to see what they were selling.
Yeah.
And after going through a bunch of that, like I just realized that, hey, bro, they're all basically doing the same thing.
All do the same thing. The only difference is that they had the belief in whatever they were selling and they sold it to people.
Yeah.
Like that's it. They just believed in themselves and it manifested into something greater than what they actually are.
Yeah.
Q-Banks. Like, bro, you can't tell me Q-Bank's course works, but it's $5,000. And he gets people to pay $5,000.
The thing is, what I now only understand about that is Q can, for an example, charge 5K for his course, whether he's a good trader or not.
Yeah.
The thing is, he can charge that much for his course because he's created this mass value image, right, around that what it is that he sells. So the higher, like there's this thing like
you just scale just company.
There's a case study that I learned this year that said like if you give, okay, people got given 3 wines, right? There was 3 wines on the table, and a bunch of people that came in, they got to choose taste the 3 wines, and the 3rd wine was the most expensive wine labeled, then the least expensive, and then dirt cheap. And what actually happened was like people came, they tasted it, all the wine were the same. They were just priced differently, right? And the people were saying like that wine, the most expensive wine is it's the one, bro. It's the one, and that's value, right? It's understanding that, and I was like, yo, bro, now this makes so much sense because people, that's how they make decisions, man. Like it's status driven.
And that's the thing. Everyone's different. Like. Yeah, big ups to Q-Banks because like, bro, what he's doing is not easy because not a lot of people at the level he's at for a reason. Like, no one's driving the cars he has, living the life he has the money he has for a reason. Like, people can hate on him, people can judge him, people can say what he's doing is not credible and this and that. But like me, I'll be like, all right, big up, bro, he made it happen. And the thing is, why you need to think like that is because it's also a positive thought. You don't have these negative thoughts in your head that are also filtering onto other people, because how you feel about yourself or other people subconsciously will manifest into your real life. So even if subconsciously you feel like Q-Bank screwed people over, he's screwing people over and doesn't work and this and that, you have all these negative emotions towards him, it's not going to affect humans. It's going to affect you because now you have these negative emotions and thoughts that manifest into negative emotions and thoughts in real life. Like that's all it is, bro.
But I believe you can in a way, like if people like, this is my kind of belief on it. If you can make someone aware that that's happening, right? That's pretty much about it. Like after that, you can't do anything else.
You can't. Like you can't change people.
Stuff like that happens, and it's in every industry, and it's like it's just what it is. But if like because I used to be that guy that was like, hey, once I reach this level, I'm gonna chop off heads. You know what I mean? Like, but that's essentially like what keeps you from reaching that level.
Yeah, because it's a negative thought. It's literally a negative thought. It's like it's literally so many like. The thing is, people think just because you wish bad on someone else or you think bad of someone else, it's not going to affect you. It's going to affect you just as much because it's a negative thought. Yeah. And the thoughts don't have levels, so they can't be like, just because you think, oh, he's wearing an ugly shirt, it's not going to affect you. That's still a negative thought that you put out into the universe. Even though it's for someone else, it's going to manifest into a negative thought for you or negative reality for you. Even though it's not you subconsciously saying, oh, I'm unfit, or oh, my shirt is so ugly. Even if it's not about yourself or someone else, because it's a negative thought, it manifests into negative reality. And it's so hard because you have, like, dude, I don't even know how many thoughts you have in a day. How many thoughts do you have in a day that are positive? How many thoughts do you have that are negative? Like, when you're actually aware and you subconsciously think of your thinking, like you actually think, bro, it's such a game changer. Whenever you just get a negative thought, replace it instantly with your goal. Like, what's your goal? FT more account. Boom. As soon as you have a negative thought, FT more account, FT more account, FT more account. Because you have no negativity towards that thought. That thought is a good thing. And if you keep thinking about that, it becomes reality. And people always wonder, like, how? Don't worry about the how, bro. The how takes care of itself and you have a strong enough why. The why is the most important thing. But you know why you want that and you'll get it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah. 100%. Like, I feel like, this has been a really productive conversation, meaning that like we didn't have anything planned on a thing to be like talk about the weather and you know what I mean? Like, so it's been really powerful because like this is what it is. It's real, it's raw, it's
the truth.
It's the truth.
It's real life.
It's being spit. So man, I thank you for your time. I also thank you for being willing to share with people what has helped you essentially in life, whether that be in business, whether that be in life in general, because I truly believe at the end of the day we don't really have life problems, we have business problems. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it kind of like rolls over to that, right?
Everything.
Because everything is connected to
100%.
Yeah, so
energies and frequencies.
Yeah.
So the energies you have in your personal life, in your business life, in your health, in your spiritual life, and everything have all related, all have an impact. That's why they all need to be at a certain level, a certain standard. Because if the one is too great and the one is too low, the gap is too big. And when that gap is too big, everything starts going shambles and shambies and everything is wrong and this and that and that. That's why it's so hard to get to a point where spiritually you're at a solid level, physically you're at a solid level, financially you're at a solid level, and that's like the constant progression of what we're all trying to literally achieve. But no one sets out to do it. No one has that goal. No one be like, okay, dude, today is the day that I changed my life. Because like that, dude, you literally decide right now, like, dude, today's the day I changed my life and change it. But then people just don't. And then that's why it's called the 5%.
Because the one,
it's easy
the
not
next
to
negative thing that happens.
It brings a negative thought, negative emotion. Or as soon as you say, today's the day I'm going to change my life. But first I need to pay all my bills. See, and instantly you just literally justified why you can't change your life because you have bills. Negative thought. Just like that. That's literally the only reason that's stopping you from progressing.
But
because now
I kind of want to just make the point for the people that are listening that it might sound it might sound simple because it is. But we as humans, we love to complicate things.
100%.
And we love to make things harder than they actually truly are.
100%.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but
it's because our mind is so strong, bro. It will literally do anything to make us stay comfortable and conform. So that's how strong your mind is. Your mind will literally make the most easy thing that will change your life and make it complicated so you fail. Like your mind will literally trick you that hard. Like it will make something so easy, something so small, but somehow make you think it's complicated, so you don't do it, so you don't change, so you stay the same.
Yeah, but I believe then this is because of wiring, right? Most of our minds are wired, and I say most of our minds are wired because that's how you got, like, you know, brought up, or some of that stuff might come back, even if you, like, that's why you need to do the work every day, to consistently feed yourself, as you mentioned, like, consistently feed yourself that constructive information, and have constructive feedback from people.
100%.
Yeah, where you can, like, but you need to understand it, you know what I mean? Yeah, you need to understand it, and then being able to do it on a consistent basis is really the big thing, because then consistency is the key then. Because consistently, once you unlock discipline, you unlock consistency.
And you're consistently thinking positive, consistently doing the right things, then consistently you live a good life. Like, that's literally what it is. Consistently and discipline too. And also, it's like, that's self-awareness. Like, you need to be aware when you're negative. Like, you can't be negative and think you're being positive. Like, you need to be aware that, okay, dude, I'm being negative now, I'm thinking negative, and change that. Be aware that, okay, I'm doing this, I could be doing this, change it. Like, we can all change. Like, bro, we're not a tree. Like, you don't just get planted to the ground and they just grow and they don't change. Like, we literally can change into whatever we want to be, and the only way you can change is if you get new information. So literally, if you want to change, go out there and get new information, because information will literally make you think, will make you process, will make you doubt, will make you question, will make you reason, will make you, like, question everything. Because, like, bro, when you start getting new information, you start realizing, like, okay, damn, maybe the information I thought was good, but then this new information makes more sense. Like, I can now rationalize and use this information to maybe change my life. And then when you start getting new information daily, game changer.
I must add to that. Like, if you're just gonna believe everything you hear without going out and, like, first, like, you know, analyzing that from a perspective of, like, what do I believe about this, you know?
100%.
And then doing your back work on whatever was told to you. Someone said this, someone gave you this new piece of information, and then you should be able to make your own decision based off of that. Doesn't matter who it is. You need to be able to make that own decision.
That's where the wisdom comes from. Because if you're wise and you have knowledge, you understand that you don't just take information and just use it blindly. You take information,
and you
filter it to see, okay, what's the good information, what's the bad information, how can I improve this information, how can I pass on this information in a better way. Like, that's the thinking process. You need to think. You need to use your brain, bro. Because when you get this information, you don't just get this information, just go blindfolded and go do something. Like, someone says, go buy NASDAQ now. You don't just go buy NASDAQ blindly, because then, you might win, but you might lose. Then you don't know why you lost, because you just took the information. So if you have the information, you know, like, okay, bro, like, okay, maybe this is not the wisest thing to do, but thanks for the information. I'll keep it there, but I won't use it, but thanks. But, like, if it's useful information and you go out there and you get information daily, you'll be sorted. And in the books, all the information is hiding in the books. I've actually decided for the next 10 years, I'm going to buy a book every month. That's the next investment I'm doing. Every single month, I'm going to buy a new book. Every month, and build my library. So then one day, my house, my home, with my kid, I have a big ass library. So, like, even if someone comes over, kids come over, there's just books everywhere.
Be like, your son can come up to you and be like, yo, Pops, how do you learn that stuff? And be like, it's over there, bro.
It's over there, son.
You can go get it, bro.
You can go get it. Let me know when you finish them all. Literally, bro. Just create a whole library, bro. Like, I just think about now. Like, if I was looking back now as a youngin', if I had to walk around my house and I had a big ass library, I might not be a fan of reading, but you'll walk around the library, or you walk past the library so many times that one day you'll be like, actually, let me just read a book. And that book could be the one book that changed your whole life. Because I don't buy trash books. I don't buy trash. I don't buy story books. And but some books are trash. I won't lie. I bought some trash books. Like, I bought some trash finance books.
You try not to buy trash
books. You try.
You
don't buy on purpose. I try not to buy trash. But
this year is the first time I actually did not finish a book. But here's the reason why. I got fed this new piece of information, right?
That you don't need to finish the whole book.
Like, the thing is,
especially if you got all of what you need out the book.
The person told me, look, the way he goes about collecting this knowledge now, if he has a book that's interesting, that he got recommended or whatever, he gets the book, right? He reads the first few pages. If the first paragraph if you can get the gist that's in the book, right? You don't need to finish the book.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, okay, I started this book, I need to finish this book. I started this book. And that's kind of where this weird thing was like, okay, I could understand why this guy is arguing, giving that argument like that. Because he said, no, look, and this, I kind of like really look up to this person, but because I'm trying to understand how he thinks about things to that, on the level that he's operating right now. So he said, okay, if he takes a book and he can, like in the first paragraph, because he's read so many books, right? In the first paragraph, he can see, okay, what he understands what the gist is about. He'll skip a couple of pages, read again. It's weird though, because like I believe his mind is on such a high, like an understanding of frequency, like because most writers, if they just write a book to make money off of the book, they repeat themselves so many times throughout the book.
You can see, just to fill in the pages. Yeah.
That was interesting because I did that with one book, and that was a book on someone's autobiography. Yeah. I've never done that with any other book. Like the book that was the biggest drag for me to read, because like probably the hardest for me to like get through it was that that red book on, like, I don't really see it. I don't even know what the book is called. I think it's called
what, the one about the ego?
No, it's like this red book. You see, I don't even know what the book is called. That's how like invested I was at the time. But let's figure out what this is called, man. It's about compound interest, or not compound interest, but understanding. You see, like, I just call it. I lost my train of thought. But anyways, this book was it was about investing, and about the whole process of what investing is actually about, right? But I kind of like, as I flipped through this book, I didn't yet understand some of the terminology. I just kept reading, but that was the hardest thing for me because it was like dry and a drag, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna have to come back to this book. You know what I mean?
Later,
this is a book that you read again later, and again, and you go over it, and you take out, because the more you grow in your understanding,
then
the more you'll be able to take out of that book as well.
Because maybe you went at the stage where you can actually fully understand the book.
Yeah.
I also read a book. It was a South African author, bro, about some finance investing. I was like, bro, this is a book literally designed if you want to have a 9 to 5 until 60 and retire and have a retirement fund. I was like, I don't like, this is not the finance information I want. Like, I want to know to invest, compound interest, and this and this, not salary and this and this. And
might it be that book on how to manage your money like a grown up? Is that like out of if?
No, not that one. It's another one. It's similar to that. It's a South African author, and I was like, nah, bro, this book is not the one, bro. It was a hard book to read. I won't even lie.
I think because we're talking like this, to end this thing off, I'll give. I think we can end this off like this, just to give like, which 3 books would you recommend anyone to read on any topic really that like you think it can help them, and then I'll give my 3 shot on that.
3 books. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That was a great book by Stephen Covey. One of the great things I learned in that book that I still try to carry out every day is try to think win-win. So like the concept of win-win. So it's either win-win or no deal. You don't go into business, you don't do anything with someone else if you both not going to win. If you win and he loses, there's no deal. If they win and you lose, there's no deal. There's always must be win-win. So 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that's number 1. Number 2, probably Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, because you need that mental toughness, that mental edge, that resilience, that's the dark side, to embrace the dark side. Number 3 would be what's another great book? Okay, there's a couple. What would number 3 be? It would be it's a similar book. Number 3, another great book.
Or even if it's just 2, like I think like it's important to understand.
Atomic Habits is good. It was very well written, but it's pretty similar to 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in the sense that it's like more practical. But wait, there's another book. Because I read a couple books this year, so definitely Can't Hurt Me, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Oh, and the Science of Getting Rich.
Okay.
Science of Getting Rich by Wallace. I think it was Wallace. Yeah. That or Think and Grow Rich. So then that's like a broad. So the first one that gives you habits of good like living lifestyle sort of tips. Second one, mental toughness. David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Third, For Wealth, Science of Getting Rich, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
No way.
Or As a Man Thinketh. That was so good.
No way. So I think my 3 books. I actually pulled up a little list here of books that I read in this year. So I think this book I did not read in this year, but I always will have this in my top 3 for as long as the book doesn't top it. Like, I think it's about, because this book really changed my life and the perspective on things. So it's a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza that Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Yeah, that's one I believe you definitely need to read if you want to understand that. Let me not say anything about it. Just go read the book and you know what I mean. Because that's how I got it. I understood that this book was something to do with understanding the self, and understanding that you aren't who you think you are, because essentially everything that happened to you
and you aren't your circumstances.
Yeah, 100%. So then I would say that in this year there was a book. It is called. Just want to pull this up. Actually, we'll pull up this list. There's actually too many. So I'd say this though. To me, Outwitting the Devil was also a really.
Isn't that what Napoleon Hill?
Yeah, that was a really, really good book in understanding that voice, bro. You know what I mean? That conversation you have with yourself, and really not conforming to it, right? So that was a big one for me. But I do just want to get this one. I believe it's something to do with how to invest and why your 20s are so important. Let me just read through them so I don't forget. It's called The Defining Decade, Why Your 20s Are So Important. And it shows you that inverse relationship where people believe that they should have all the fun they can have right now, right? But then they essentially hit a stage in their life where they're 26, 28, whatever. Then they'll be okay, now I actually want to start doing something. You know what I mean?
And they don't understand it takes 10,000 hours, which is 10 years. So by the time they're 37, they only then just hit their peak, and it's too late.
Yeah.
But it's never too late. But you want to start early. It just saves a lot of time.
Yeah. Those are my 3 books, and man, I want to finish this thing off by thanking you for your time, thanking you for your contribution, as I said the previous time, because there's not a lot of people that take the initiative to try to actually make a difference, and being able to share this conversation was a privilege for me. So man, I think we're gonna drop the mic just here. It's just so peace. If this ever turns into a podcast episode, it's your boy Triple J, and it's your boy
Josh Gumede. You know what's good.
Okay, so and we're signing off.